Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RSC Season 8. We're into Week 2 here. It's our third match of the night. It's down to the minor tier with Hydra versus Toxin, two teams with a great start, and with me for it, he's continuing on from the last series. It's Greybeard.
Bomb Manny Tan, what a pleasure to be back here with you. And I only just discovered that you are the reason I'm even here. You got me into this caster booth, so thanks for that. And how awesome that we are here to cast together, which on for what is on paper gonna be a really good series. Two closely contended teams in terms of their stats, their position on the table. We have the top place up against the third. So I'm pretty keen to see how this plays out.
Yeah, and certainly a massive welcome to you here in the RSC. We try to expand our casters whenever we can, and anyone willing to come and join in the fun can definitely do so. But yeah, as you say, really, really big match. Even though it's only Week 2, it's already top of the table stuff. And can Toxin be the ones to take a first game off Hydra? They've gone 8-0. They haven't even lost a single one yet.
Well, it's very tough to be at the top like that, because you're undefeated, you're looking good, but there's teams looking to take you down.
Yeah, and if we do move into the team stats, if we have not already, you will see just how dominant Hydra have been. They've only got 4 more goals than Toxin, but that gives them an extra 2 wins, and that could be vital. It's only Week 1, still plenty of time throughout the season for anything to change, but you want to start as you intend to go on. And looking at these Hydra stats, they're certainly that little bit better than the Toxin.
Yeah, and you know what? But we often talk about the start of a season. It's new. There's a long way to go, but that wears off really, really quickly. You can't be thinking that way for too long. You wanna get yourself in a good position as quickly as possible. And obviously, if you've come out had a bad start, you want to turn that around as quick as possible. But we're going to get into the heart and the heat of this season pretty quickly. But geez, Hydra undefeated, looking good.
Well, if anyone can do it, it is last season's winners in Toxin. They don't have any of that roster still here, but they still have the name. They still have that mantra and legacy to go on with. So there's certainly no easy feat, and especially when 2 of their members have dropped down from Major this season in the form of Pile of Dodge and Archeon as we jump into the player stats. They were really, really good last season. Unfortunately, bombed out in the playoffs, but they should definitely be a worthy foe for this Hydra side that have started so well.
Yeah, look at that, Louis, 10 goals, a bit of a machine, but not far behind with Fleege North. They're scoring a lot of goals there, 8-6, 10-8-7. That's pretty good going, pretty aggressive.
Yeah, and then that stat off to the right, that, elusive 100 win percent. Not often you see that one here, but we do also have Punk. He's only played 2 games, but he's won both of them. So when he came in to sub for Kincaid there, he certainly showed that he can play. And it's going to be interesting to see what the lineups will be tonight, considering that Toxin have already had a little bit of a rotation, and Hydra yet to play that fourth in Ralbone. So maybe we'll see it first from him, or maybe we'll see some of that more rotation from the Toxin.
Well, who do we have here? We have Archeon, Pile of Dodge. Punk is indeed in the game. He's playing, but we are... Oh, I thought for a moment we were a player short. Everyone is in there. Louis, Fleege, sleep deprived. Who's sleep deprived? That's not a name I saw on the sheet.
Oh, it's North.
Oh, it's North.
Got up to
it's
the
North.
end, yes.
Okay.
A little bit sleepy tonight, it would seem.
All right, so Barmanitan, a question I asked Boopy in the last series. Who are you backing to take down this series? Where is your money?
Oh, it's tough. It's whether Hydra can continue on this unexpected form. They were predicted to finish bottom of this side of the tier, but, of course that 8-0 start would prove otherwise. And, I think I'm going to back them to continue this against the Toxin here. Of course, Archeon, the man who makes all the magic happen as the head admin. Tonight, I just don't think it's going to be his night. I think Louis, the GM of Luna Esports, will be able to take it from him, and that Hydra will win 3-1. But, what do you think, Greybeard? Who do you think will be able to make their mark on this match?
It doesn't really make any sense to not back the team with the undefeated record until they start losing. So, and this is cheating a little bit, but maybe after the first game, I'll give more of a confident prediction. But early signs here, I'm just over a minute in, and it is Goldust, so, early sign. Well, I guess when you're coming up against the undefeated team, your first job is to not go behind very quickly. And if you do go behind, not go behind by too much. Does he get the double? Oh, it would have been sensational. Louis couldn't find the touch. But now we start to see that aggression as they build their pressure to Hydra, and Toxin got some defending to do.
Yeah, they're yet to get a shot on the board. Toxin, they've been under the pressure very much so from these three players. Louis was the Season 5 player of the season in Challenger, so, you know, he's got credentials to his name. He's never won, but he's certainly a very strong player, and he started off with 10 goals in week 1. He's already got his 11th in this one. 1-0 to Hydra.
Yeah, just increased his goal tally by 10%, and it is the undefeated Hydra who take first blood out here in Game 1, just on 2 minutes played. So plenty of time here, but you know, talking about Rocket League and being a confident sort of game, I mean, their confidence has got to be ridiculous right now, and they must, you know, and which is a double-edged sword, because you start to get to the point where you almost feel entitled to win. But so far the confidence doing them the world of good.
Yeah, Toxin haven't had very much of a look in. They've been slightly better since that first goal has gone in, but they're back under it right now as Hydra once again start off this attack, although they've left no one back. Archeon tries to snipe out the back of the net, but it's just off the post, and Louis got it clear. That was definitely their biggest chance of the game so far, but Archeon just couldn't quite find the net. Again? Just we're not noticed the post again, so unfortunate.
Yeah, well, listen, they've had two good, solid opportunities, and they'll be disappointed that they found the post. They find both of them going wide, but suddenly their pressure, building a lot more pressure than they've done in the first half of the game, and now they've got to make it count. It is only a one-goal game, so if they can just squeeze a way through, they're right back in it again on the post. Maybe a pass. Pile of dodge will find it finally, and the game is level.
He performed very, very well last season in Major. He's trying to continue that on. Just, you know, maybe fix out Louis a little bit there on that one to get it into the back of the net. But great response for them after that first goal from Hydra, and they are deservedly back in this game at 1-1.
And this will be very good for Toxin. They need to believe that they can take down the undefeated team. Nice little bump there is going to set something up. Ponk heads it forward. Louis will get it down into the midfield, and now an opportunity on the other end. This is dangerous. It's awkward, but Ponk somehow gets one touch, but it's not enough. Louis has a taste for goals and gets his second.
Destroying Ponk on that 50 in order to get the other touch. Archeon tries to get back in time to stop the rebound, but too little, too late, and they're once again on the back foot. They did very well to respond to it last time, but they're going to have to try again and find back that attacking form that they found in that last minute or so, and it's not going to be easy as Hydra are not slowing down in these goals, and neither is Louis.
Yeah, they're not, and now they're going to have to push hard, push forward, and it does become frustrating when you're the team chasing the game, but Pile of Dodge is matching Louis goal for goal. He gets his second, and we're back level.
Hydra just failing to deal with that ball in their own box there, and will indeed fall to Dodge eventually, but he would have maybe asked for slightly more from them there as North just got a really awkward touch that started it all off and meant that chance did eventually open up for Pile of Dodge, and they're trying again. Dodge trying to finish off the hat-trick, but his 50 will not find the back of the net. Flea just missed this one. As you say, that confidence was looking so high and mighty just a minute ago, but suddenly there's defensive errors all over the place. Louis can't get to this one, neither can Fleege, and Archeon this time is on hand to get them their first lead of the match.
Yeah, and that's an interesting turn of events here, because Toxin now taking the lead, only a minute left in the game. So are we going to be seeing the first defeat for Hydra as Toxin find a way to not just chase the game? They've leveled up. Oh, and then they take the lead, almost conceding there, but they do maintain their lead, but it's razor thin, and the last 40 seconds are going to be sweaty stuff out there, Barman and Dad.
They certainly will be. This famously fragile one-goal lead is in place for the Toxin, and Hydra will be wanting to make sure they can try and put as much pressure on them as possible in order to counteract it, but oh no! It's another defensive collapse here from the Hydra, and it's Pile of Dodge finishing off his hat-trick that will capitalize on it, as none of these Hydra players can get to the ball. It looked like North for sure should have had it on his goal line, but just flips past it, and now this 2-goal lead with 30 seconds left looks pretty unassailable.
Yeah, a little bit of panic at the back there for Hydra, and it does look like they're going to suffer their first defeat, but it was always going to come at some point. But this series, of course, not over. Archeon now, it's 1v1. Louis does well to dispossess, might get one on the other side. If they score now, it's going to be a sweaty conclusion, but it is pushed away, and now this touch might put it out of contention altogether, especially if Archeon can find the net now. So there we have it. Good, solid performance here by Toxin, Barman.
Great resilience in this one to show that they can fight back. They must have known that they were under pressure here going up against this undefeated team, and you know how bad it looks for them when they go down twice and have to come back to it, but they rallied up their forces. They got the goals that they needed, and great performance from Pile of Dodge himself getting that hat-trick, and you know, the real match winner for Toxin here.
Well, they're going to be feeling pretty pleased with themselves. But we did speak about how tense the series was going to be with these two teams, closely matched in many ways. Hydra, of course, with their undefeated run so far, slightly ahead on most of the stats, but Toxin have done themselves a massive favor taking down game one.
Yeah, and if, you know, Toxin want to finish off this day at the top of the minor leaderboard, well, at least at the end of this match, they would require to beat the Hydra 3-1 or better. So this is a great way to start doing that. And, you know, if they allow Hydra to come back into it and maybe get the draw, or the win themselves, if they win the next 3 in a row, then Hydra would continue their lead at the top and go on to maybe 10 or 11 wins. And, you know, it's always the start of the season. You know, as you say, you don't want to rely on that, you know, lightning quick start too much, but it's always going to be more difficult for the teams trying to catch up to you in the remaining weeks left throughout the season.
Yeah, and then looking at the shot distribution, a fairly aggressive play by Toxin, coming out with 12 shots on goal, so they were certainly looking for those goals. But Hydra, no doubt, are going to come back pretty hard here in game two. They're not going to be pleased losing their first game of the season, and they want to set their record right, but they're going to have to work for it, because clearly Toxin are not going to go quietly.
Yeah, they'll be especially disappointed with the way they threw away those leads, as they know that there were a lot of defensive errors that they could have fixed and could have avoided, but I'm sure they'll be looking to fix them here, almost off to an even worse start than last time, as they almost concede first, but they will somehow just about keep it up, and now they look to score first again. It's Louis again, the only man to score for them so far in this series, but he's done it again, and once again they have that early lead.
Yeah, but look at this in the corner, very untidy from Toxin, 2 players going for the same ball, getting jammed, bumping into each other, and clearing a path to the goal for Louis. And I suspect you never have to ask him twice if he wants to take a goal.
He certainly finished all of his chances with grace here in this series, but hasn't been enough for them just yet. They'll have to hope that this lead is a better one for them than the previous 2 they've had, but it's not looking like it's going to be, as Ponk is trying to get it to Archeon here on the left-hand side. North does deal with it well, but it's only as far as Archeon. This one might just drop straight in. Ponk will make sure of it on that top corner, but once again, the Hydra just a little bit too ambitious to go forward here. As Fleet and North committed, and then Louis just nowhere near that ball from Archeon. 1-1 once more.
Yeah, nice result from some good positioning there. The two players from Toxin able to take advantage of the loose ball as it came into the middle after a pinch off the side wall. Archeon now booming ball high and forward. And yeah, Toxin are completely here for this. They look like they're ready. They made the mistake which resulted in them conceding and going behind, but again they've come ahead. Oh, Pong couldn't take advantage of the high ball. They're a little higher. Pile of Dodge got some work to do, taking it back to his corner and across the goal. But whichever way this goes, I like how it's playing out here. This is two closely matched teams here, Barman and Tan, having a bare-knuckled fight out there.
Yeah, and it's, you know, all credit to Toxin as well for spotting these defensive fragilities that have come in from Hydra, because clearly neither of the other 2 teams they played in week 1 were able to spot those and take advantage of them. So you know, it's a credit to the Toxin awareness and how well they can, you know, capitalize from this vision that they seem to have. And you know, so far, despite these teams being so-called equally matched from the playoff stats, you know, most of the confidence has been in Toxin's favor ever since that first equalizing goal. It always looked like they were going to come back into that game number 1 and continue that form in game 2, and they do so, and they once again have the lead. This time it's Punk getting his second goal of the game.
Yeah, and they're doing very well. They're combining nicely as a unit out there, and now this is, you know, it's when you're doing well, it's easy to feel good about things. But now, how do Hydra respond, having lost the opening game, now going behind, and this is where you start to transition from being a good player to a great player, when you can deal with this sort of adversity and go, okay, fine, it's no problem, and we'll get ourselves back into it. So, going to be good to see how they deal with it.
And how they deal with their own mistakes as well, seeing how good this Toxin side is at scoring and how good they'll have to be to counteract and get their own goals. North is just off the crossbar, off the ceiling bounce. And now it looks like they're going to concede another, but North is there just in time and Fleet, and this is what you like to see. You know, they've finally got enough men back to deal with some of these goals, and you know, that was something good defensive work there to keep that one out.
Yeah, geez, that was a bit of a nervy moment. The bounce being kind to them. They're bouncing high and over the net, so they had the opportunity to get the clear.
Hydra will have to play out from the back again, but Punk looks to get the double, and now Dodge will have to come in behind him. He will have the shot in his back pocket, but once again, Hydra's just caught in this corner as Fleet tries to take his time, and Archeon is just there on top of him to get the play started, and his two teammates will indeed finish off the move. But you know, I think that the onus is really on Hydra now to try and fix whatever's happening to them here, because it hasn't been good enough, and they're in an even worse position now.
Yeah, they're getting panicky in defense, but they're getting panicky there because of the pressure coming from Toxin. They're playing very high. It's a bit of a dangerous game, but it's working out for them. Often there we see it again. All three players deep into the Hydra half. They're looking to suck all the life out of Hydra, but now this is where it gets dangerous. The possibility of being punished on the other side of the demolition. The player was right there to finish it off, and he just got removed from the field of play.
Yeah, Hydra looked like for a moment they might get one back, might finally have been quick enough to catch out the Toxin defense, but no. They get taken out of the play, they get demoed, and now it's Toxin that are going again. Dodge might have this one. No, it's just off the post from Punk. Now Archeon's chance, and it's off the post again. So many shots have been off the post. North has missed this one completely, though. And Dodge will indeed be there to get it in, but so close from Hydra with that one, and so unfortunate here. North just completely whiffs that one.
Oh man, now Toxin are just starting to run away with this. They are looking really good and being strong. They're... Woo! It's tough times out there for Hydra, getting issued with a bit of their own medicine. A save, another save, keeps the 3-goal scoreline intact.
It just can't catch a break here, as none of their offense seems to be paying off, and every time they're just being fought back into their own half and having to defend again. But they found some amount of possession here. Louis takes control on the left-hand side, but his 50 has found his way to Archeon, who's just completely missed his follow-up touch, which means that Hydra will regain control and try and mount something in these last 30 seconds. North up the corner wall into the middle for his teammate Louis, but he couldn't find the goal, and that should be the end of the game and should be the 2-0 lead for Toxin heading into game 3. And it's going to take a monumental effort from Hydra if they are to start beating out Toxin with slightly more grace, but it's a great way to try and get some momentum going for that game number 3 from Fleech.
Jeez, this was well done. Oh, the control there. He completely broke Axel's all the way down. And geez, that was fantastic from Fleege. We need to see more of that against Toxin in game 3.
Yeah, I need to see some more creativity come out from them in the final third, because, you know, at times they've just looked a little bit slow there, and in times where they had chances, there have been players on the goal line waiting, or as we saw with one of those chances, players waiting to demo out that man trying to get the shot off, and it's meant that any amount of attack that Hydra put up, Toxin dealt with, and they got goals of their own that they needed. Another 2-goal lead, proving to be too much for the Hydra. and now they'll have to be in a position where they need to fight back for a draw, which is certainly not where they would have liked to be coming into this one at 8-0.
Yeah, of course not where they want to be, but it is where they are, so they're going to have to fight from the position they find themselves in. But huge credit here to Toxin, who have come out. They looked a little fragile early on in that first game, like maybe Hydra were gonna take them down relatively simply. But then, and the point you made is once they scored the equalizing goal in that first game, their level of pressure and play stepped up dramatically and paying off for them magnificently here. 14 shots on goal. They're looking to take down Hydra.
Yeah, the confidence at an all-time high here for Toxin. You know, Archeon throws in the chat that he's just come out of a 13-hour shift, but doesn't matter for him. He'll keep going. He'll keep getting the assists for his teammates. And it's paying off dividends for them here. I predicted them to fall 3-1. They've already proved that one wrong by winning the first two, and at this rate, it looks like it could be a very, very long series for Hydra.
And do we know what happens here in terms of positioning if Toxin take this down 4-0?
Well, every game here in the RC is indeed a 4-game series, so no matter the result in the next one, we will have a 4th game, and you know each game win is 1 point in the table, so it'll still very much matter for the Hydra. They'll be wanting to try and take that last one from Toxin if they do fall to them again here, and it looks like they might do, as once again, well, actually for the first time in the series, Toxin are the ones to take the lead first.
Yeah, and this is ominous signs for Hydra. Toxin, you mentioned their all-time high confidence, and now they're being very cheeky, taking all of 7 seconds to find first blood, take the first goal here in Game 3. They are looking to make a very, very bold statement. Look at this work from North, though. Oh, it would have been perfect if that had resulted in a goal. It doesn't, but it looked amazing for a moment. Arceus looking to look for a second. Oh! North is going to dap it down and away, but the pressure from Toxin is just relentless at the moment.
And hopefully that can inspire something in North, because so far, you know, he's been a little lackluster. He's been missing a few defensive balls that he perhaps shouldn't have been missing at this minor level, and yeah, I really want to see him try and perform and, you know, try and open up some more stuff in that final third, because they've been lacking something, and if they really score a great goal, maybe a team player, maybe just, you know, a mechanical play, that might inspire some more confidence in them and allow them to carry on forward and start catching out this Toxin defense a little more.
Indeed, but there's only 1 goal in it, so plenty of time and opportunity for Hydra to restore a bit of what they have done for the last week or two. They're in attack now. Oh, Fleege looking to pass it in front. Lands up pinching it. It goes sailing across the goal. And is there an open net on the other side? Fleege does a little bit, but here comes Toxin. Yet again, pile of dodge looking for a pass across the net. Pong picks it up. But now North again. Coming off the ceiling, gets it forward, but can't get it past the last defender. And again, it's Toxin with yet another attempted assault on the Hydra goal.
Here is Dodge, you know, trying to bring it forward, but North will cut him out. Punk can't reach this one on the sidewall, which means North can try and get a 50 in against Archeon, but he's too quick, and he's got it past Louis as well, and Fleet will have to take control on the right. Punk, once again, just cutting it out, and struggling to see any amount of possession amount here, but Punk's got 2 demos. Archeon has the shot! No, Dodge! Somehow Hydra survived that one.
They are very lucky not to be 2 behind now, but they are still only 1, and they seem to really be struggling to find the form that we saw from them in the opening minute and a half, 2 minutes of that first game. They were just looking so strong, and Louis was dominating, just looking for the goal, scoring those 2, but ever since then, it has been slim pickings for them.
Yeah, North once again off the crossbar. They've had a few of those where it's just, you know, the bounce hasn't been favourable and it's just pinged off the crossbar harmlessly for them, and meant Toxin could maybe break down the other end and start up their offense again, but they'll be hoping that this is when that changes, because otherwise they could be forfeiting their spot at the top of the table to this Toxin side, and I'm sure they can do better with these ones, although Punk's just cut this one out completely. His Dodge waiting for a dodge, can't get his car around it. He was fortunately positioned there, but couldn't make it pay off, and now it means Hydra can go again. North in the middle again, it's off the crossbar. Was anyone there this time? No, it's just North. dodge, sorry, and it means Fleet will have to take it to the left. Punk is there, and Toxin are so good at cutting out these attempts from the Hydra really early on and making sure they don't amount to anything in their own third.
They've had a good passage of play in terms of pressure, but yeah, not able to find a way through. Punk! And the save is going to go high, and Pile of Dodge is going to come down from on high and send it home. And this amazing run from Toxin continues in Game 3.
Certainly no crossbar for them that time. Dodge makes sure he has the angle in his sights, and he executes it perfectly from the pass he received from Punk. And something I'm noticing here is, all three of these Hydra players came in with a 100% win record, but Punk is now the only one on the pitch to continue that on. As he won his first 2 games, and he's won his first 2 games in this series. So Punk is proving to be that man for Toxin that just consistently gets the wins on the board. And now he's the only one unbeaten. Although maybe this is when it finally starts to change, as Louis finally has something back for Hydra.
Yeah, nice work from North to get that pass off the backboard. Lovely finish from Louis. And that's what we saw from him in that opening game, that thirst for goals, finding a way through, finally gets one. And the good news for them is that goal comes with enough time to find the second, to level it up, which is the first start to then taking a lead, if they are at all possible, if they are able to do so, but almost conceding again. Archean can't get on it. But Toxin with the pressure once again. Pile of Dodge in front. Oh! And now it's the turn of Toxin to hit the crossbar, but the rebound will be picked up by Punk. And it's 2 goals again in front for Toxin.
Yeah, instantly looking to shut down that comeback attempt from the Hydra. And, if luck hasn't been on Hydra's side with all of these crossbar bounces, it certainly was there, as Pile of Dodge just happened to be on the post to knock it back in the middle for Punk to get a very clean shot on goal. And, of course, was going to score that, which will once again amount to a 2-goal lead for Toxin. And Hydra, they're going to have to find some luck here. You sort of need it in your favor in these Rocket League matches, just for some of these shots to end up going in. But Game 3 is not for them either, it would seem, as Toxin, they're back to this 4-1 scoreline, and this time it's Dodge to get his second of this game.
Wow, looking at what's going on there and how Toxin are playing, some days out on the Rocket League pitch, you just feel like it's your day. You just have you're popping off, you're hitting the ball, you're finding your shots, your passes. And we've all experienced that. And when that happens, you almost don't want to go to sleep, because tomorrow it might just be the other way around. But it continues for Toxin out here on Forbidden Temple. And they now have a 4-goal lead, and now it is dominating stuff. It's not just them winning, they are winning by some distance.
Yeah, I think really the only thing Hydra can hope for now is from this series is that in this 4th game, as you say, that confidence can be a bit of a double-edged sword, where you just, take your foot off the pedal. You sort of expect these wins to just come your way, and Hydra will be hoping that the Toxin just let up a little bit and let them take control of this 4th game, because if not for that, I don't know how Hydra are going to fight back against this Toxin, because as you say, it's just everything's been going their way. Their goals have been amazing. Their shutdowns of Hydra attacks have been amazing. And what a great performance to come and ruin this unbeaten team before today in Hydra.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic performance, but this is what makes any kind of competitive sport, as a spectator, as a player, as fans, to be involved is, if it all just went according to the predictions, and predictions were made in the power rankings at the start of the season and who we predict to be at the top, but it is the fact, the unpredictability of it, the fantastic performances on the day that bring new players in and upset the favorites. This is what makes it fantastic to watch, and this is what we're seeing at the top of the table here today. It's brilliant.
Yeah, the Moon from Pluto, they've been struggling on series long, but there have been moments of quality where it looked like they were going to take something against Toxin. Of course, in that first game, they took the first 2 leads, and from then on, in the second game, they got that first lead as well. But Toxin have just shut them down every time, taking back control of those games, and we head into the 4th one, where it seems like almost a certainty that the Toxin will just continue on this form and, maybe bang another 5 into the net of Hydra.
Yeah, and we see it in. I mean, we see it in the stats of the series and each game, and how Toxin are dominating in terms of their aggressive play, playing high upfield and getting multiple shots on goal, lots of them, and it has worked for them magnificently. So here we go, Toxin out there looking to get the sweep of 4-0 against the up to this point undefeated Hydra. Hydra, though, now playing for some pride, and of course that point, they don't want to get taken out 4-0 after the start they've had to this tournament, but it's going to be an uphill battle for them as they look to find a way to undo a Toxin team that have just popped off in every way tonight.
Yeah, if they do get this fourth win, they'll go tied top at wins with Toxin 9 apiece, but Toxin would be ahead of them, as of course the head-to-head is the second tiebreaker, so Toxin having beaten them here would take that one, but it might look like they have to rely on that as Hydra are finally getting their lead back for the first time, and it's that man again, Louis, just picking out the goal that he needed, and yeah, great stuff from him. Actually, is that just an own goal, actually?
It was.
Okay, wow. I didn't catch that one at first, but yeah.
No, it was pretty much an all-team own goal there. The two players on the sidewall one player putting it back toward his own net, and then Big finished off, and now Fleege gets in on the action, and okay, finally Hydra coming to a party they were hoping to star in, having been chasing the action for 3 games. This is, I believe, the best lead they've had all series.
And maybe it was just that moment of luck, that moment of, confusion from Toxin that made them realize that, they're very much still in this series. They can still go and win this 4th game, and, maybe that's what's going to open up the Toxin here and allow maybe the floodgates to open for them, as 2 very early goals from Hydra will put them in a much better stead than any other game, and they're looking to try and continue this. Fleet tries to get on this one, but Punk, great clear down the pitch, and he'll now look to capitalize on this one as Hydra just mixed up in the corner and almost opens up for Dodge, but North as well to bring that one across. And to safety as Louis has to bring this one out as well. Archeon into the middle for Punk. Fleet gets the 50. But Toxin will be there first again as Dodge will bring it down for Punk. He tries to find the shot away. It's just looking a little bit like Toxin will get back into the swing of things here as the Hydra defense are struggling to get it clear and mount their own attack, although North has it to Fleet here to see if the shot he does. And suddenly, after a moment of certain pressure from Toxin, Hydra just instantly break down the other end of the pitch, and Fleet is on hand to finish off that move.
It's amazing how quickly things can alter, shift, and change. All the things that have been going right for Toxin, suddenly there's just a couple of misses, a couple of touches not going quite the way they were going in the earlier games, and now it's their turn to go, hold on a second, we've been dominating here, and now Archeon maybe looking to turn it around in this final game. Pile of dodge forward, Fleege doesn't get a convincing clear. The touch forward, while Archeon gets the goal, he'll take it all day, every day, but the work done before him there to set that up.
Yeah, definitely Punk that made it happen there with that shot, and Archeon gets credited with the goal, but they'll be taking some pride in this fact of that there's 3 minutes still left in the clock, and that's plenty of time to get 2 goals. They've shown that they can fight back from being down previously in the series, and it's down to Hydra now to make sure that doesn't happen and that they continue on this good scoring form they've found. But Louis here just caught out napping at his own booth, at his own corner, and Pile of Dodge will very happily take advantage of that and just snipe out their goal from his own half.
Yeah, Pile of Dodge from distance saw that open net and just banged it toward, and he timed it perfectly. And these are warning signs here for Hydra. If they go from being 2 goals up, 3 goals up, and then go on to lose this, that's going to be damaging to their confidence. And just as you were saying, Bob Manitan, they have found a way back. They have figured out that they can come back into these games, and they've done it now. We're back level in game 4.
Once again, it's that dreaded overcommit from the Hydra, only leaving 1 player back to deal with any touches that might have gone askew. North this time was the man, and he couldn't get there in time, and it means that Toxin get another goal. This time it was Archeon again, but they are looking to try and change where the series had gone in these situations previously. They're looking to try and get them to be the ones getting the leading goal now. And it's going to have to be soon, or, you know, now or never, really, because this is the last game. This is their final chance of the series. Louis trying to make it happen, but Punk gets across his own net to get the block.
Indeed it is. So it's level, and they're playing quite aggressively. Hydra were playing quite high up, almost getting caught out again at the back. They've survived for now. Another attempt hits the side wall. Pile of dodge, though, looking for the net, and Louis now making no mistake, but pressure building here from Toxin. They're going to look to take this away from Hydra, who are leading by 3 goals, and they are going to now concede their 4th unresponded goal. Oh, it is tough times out there for Hydra.
Double commit at the near post means there's no one left to deal with it. North thinks he might have time, but he doesn't quite. And pile of dodge, he scored so much all throughout the series. I mean, to be fair, all 3 of them have. Neither of them, or none of them have been, you know, stealing any chances. They've been working in tandem and with good teamwork, and it's led to a lot of success for them. But for Hydra, it's another moment of panic. It's another moment of disaster, and they're once again in a position where they need to fight back. And if they are to do it, it has to be now. And all throughout the series, it hasn't looked like they have it in them. And once again, it's going to take something massive to shut down the Toxin.
And you know, this is everything we love and hate about Rocket League. Just those days where you feel like you can't do anything wrong, and then another day you can't do anything right. And we're seeing that between Toxin and Hydra here, where Hydra were looking so good, so solid for the first good portion of the game. They're going to get one back here, and this is going to be our highest scoring game of the entire series. 9 goals and 1:20 left to go. You certainly get the feeling this isn't done, and Hydra not out of it just yet, but struggling.
Certainly struggling, but Northsmirk will indeed get on the scoreboard. I think he's switched to that lovely big tank of a car, but hopefully it'll bring them some more success here. North tries to pre-jump this one. He gets a touch on it. It's dropping down dangerously. Now Louis is, and all of a sudden they've equalized, and they're looking to try and take this 4th game.
My word, what a game we're having here. Domination early on by Hydra. Toxin find a way back. Lead by 2, so they've both teams have given up substantial leads here in this game. 10 goals, and we're not done yet. Pile of dodge! What is that? We'll get the 6th for Toxin, and they again take the lead.
Great kickoff from Archeon to get it so high, and, you know, in that good position for dodge. Still leaves plenty of work for him to do, of course. Wasn't an easy goal at all, but he got that extra little oomph to get it past that last defender and into the back of the net and leave Hydra once again in this position where they need to find something to bring it back. They've done it once this game, but can they do it again? They have 1 minute to do so.
Well, there's certainly the time, and in the way this game has gone, so many goals, you would expect at least 1 more to be scored. And yet, and also the way it's gone, you feel like an overtime is would be the appropriate finish for this kind of game. Neither of these teams, of course, would want that, but it kind of feels like that's where we're headed. Unless one of these teams can break through now. Punk having to get an important defensive touch away. Now looking for someone in the midfield. Oh my word, Fleege took his eye off the ball and flew right past it. Last 20 seconds. Are we going to have the equalizer again? Oh my word, Toxin almost putting the kibosh on it with goal number 7. It's not to be. We're into the final countdown, Barmanitan.
TikTok it goes. 5 seconds left. Dodge to Archeon. He has it left. Should be one more chance here for Hydra. North has a good corner bounce for him. He has it 50 in his favor too, but not quite enough. Didn't come off the wall again. Will drop to the ground. And Toxin get this 4-0 sweep. Such a strong performance from them. You maybe thought in this last game that Hydra had it in them to try and take something from Toxin, but no. Toxin once again fight back, get that 6th goal just to edge it over. And yeah, great sweep from them after Hydra were undefeated before today. What a way to do that.
Indeed, and that fantastic performance, and all credit to them, because they played a fantastic series, and they just grew in confidence as the series went on. I mean, the last game being the closest of all of them, going behind early, going behind by some distance, but then finding a way finding a way back in. I mean, that is massive. You know, it's, we spoke about Hydra early on. It's easy to do well when things are going your way, and when they're not, can you turn them around? And Toxin did that a few times throughout the series, and yeah, deserved winners of a big 4-0 win up against Hydra.
Yeah, and you're sort of looking at this series as a lost opportunity for Hydra to keep their lead at the top and continue on their unbeaten form, but there were still plenty of positives to take from this series. They fought back in that last game, made it really, really close, really made Toxin worry for themselves and have to fight for that last lead, and there were certainly plenty of good goals in there for Hydra, and they know that Toxin are a really strong team coming into this. Predicted second, two players that played Major, which is just that little bit of higher quality last season, so they know what to do in minor, but I think Hydra should still take some confidence from this and feel that they can go on and have a good season.
Yeah, and so much for the favorites on paper, and this is what makes these competitions fantastic. Are the upsets, and both you and I pretty much back in Hydra to, well, I don't think either of us thought they would take it for nothing, but certainly given their form over the last couple of weeks, coming in here. With that undefeated run, you expected them to take it. 3-1 was probably the most likely. But my word, what a turnaround. And Toxin got to be feeling pretty confident now about how their season is starting to shape up.
Yeah, they certainly will. Archeon, the one who runs it all, was he struggled in major in the playoffs last season, and he's had this drop down to minor, and maybe that can be the way that they will get a second trophy on the board. He won in season 5 in minor. Maybe he can do it again here in season 8. But that has been your Tuesday stream in week 2 of RSC season 8. We will be back on Thursday, but we haven't decided the games yet, so we will have polls up in the server if you want to go and vote on those. But thank you everyone for watching another 3 great games of RSC action in this one, and yeah, see you on Thursday, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Peace.
Could you leave me alone? If you see me crying, let me cry alone. 'Cause I hope that you'll never be